AI is getting crazy. I think we can all agree on it. Lately, I've been working on a project to gather all the important data from very, very complicated documents using OCR and even AI vision. However, most of the tools that I've used have not really done the job that I needed them to do. In fact, it wasn't until I found this one new software that completely blew me away and has transformed my ability to go through complicated documents, pull out everything that I need with one simple end-to-end workflow. All right, guys, let's check it out. So the tool that I'm referring to is LlamaParse. I've been using a ton of other different tools in the process of testing how to extract the best data. I've used Mistral, I've used Qwen, I've used NanoNets, I've used OCR.space. I've tried them all, but nothing has actually come quite close to what LlamaParse can do. If we can see right here, LlamaParse takes this original document, which is a complicated financial document, parses the results into an actual table, and we can immediately understand what values are being extrapolated on the x-axis and the y-axis and the important measures that are coming from each of the graphs. It even also supports multiple file types like PDFs, docs, PowerPoints, JPEGs, you name it, it can handle it. The great part too is that you can choose the different models that you're actually looking to leverage depending on how accurate you need or how much speed you need. So if you have a very complicated document that is involving handwriting and you need to have a way to really take the time to really work through that, you can change your models accordingly. But what I love most is as an end-to-end builder, that we have API access in order to integrate that into our builds to make this very clean. Let's actually get into the build, guys. So here's the build right now, and it's pretty straightforward. It is a search for a folder and look for all the files that exist in the folder. And then it goes through a loop. I'm going to disconnect the loop, but the loop is basically just going to bring in one file at a time because we don't want to be bringing in 15 files and then parsing through that. We then use Drive to download that file. And then we get into the first HTTP request, which is a post method. And what this will do is it will upload the file to LlamaParser. LlamaParser uses REST API, at least for the extract portion. And luckily, it does a great job at providing curls. And so we'll use the REST API, and what we're going to go to first is we need to upload a document. So we will copy that curl, paste it in here with our import curl, and put that in, and it will build it all out with the proper URL and everything. Now, for those who are deciding to be a little bit more advanced or don't want to have to copy and paste their API key, I put my API key within a stored header credential. So it's just under generic, you'll go to header authorization, and then you'll put bearer with a capital B space, and then your API key, name it LlamaParse. So you have that stored for later, and you'll be good to go. You will need to have your body selected. You're ideally sending a binary file because that's what will be downloaded because it is a PDF that you're going to be working with. And then you'll be called file, and then the data, you'll actually have that information on the document itself. Now, this part here, I had to kind of go and figure out because originally the way that I had it work was it would go through a loop and check to see if the status was complete or not. And that was fine, except when it had to go through 10 times before it was ever even finally done. So instead I thought, oh, what if I just do a webhook? And so I went into LlamaParse, Llama Cloud, and I checked out their webhook API information, and I started reading exactly what it was that we needed to do. So we need a webhook URL, and then I thought, okay, this is a post request. So, and that's exactly what this request is doing anyways. It's a post request. So why don't I feed over my webhook URL and actually just give it the name webhook URL, which is the field, the parameter that it needs. So I fed it over my webhook URL. So it will trigger, this is a webhook trigger, and this webhook trigger will listen. So the reason that I like it this way versus the other way is that when you have things constantly cycling through, the problem is that it can break. The loop can break in some way. Something can go wrong. If it keeps looping for too long in N8N will be like, hey, this is taking up too many resources, and we'll stop. But if we have a webhook listening and it's active, that is a completely separate process from the N8N workflow and will always continue working. So that webhook will listen for the status to be complete, and then it will bring us here to where we have our next HTTP request. As once again, I have my credentials put into my header authorization. There's no need for a body because I'm not trying to put anything in any specific way. Rather, I'm just trying to get the markdown of this, and we'll go into the Llama API and show you that. So we're back under our REST API, and we're going to get the results, and this will be the link that we're doing. So it's the API Cloud, LlamaIndex, the V1 extraction jobs, and then the job ID. When this comes through, you will grab your job ID and you will drag it in there, and it will be able to grab everything. Now, the information extractor is where things get a little interesting. So when I'm in ChatGPT, what I ended up doing was I ended up feeding it one of our documents. And that document allowed us to look at all of the necessary fields that needed to be extracted from that document. And the great part is that if you have a document that you know you're going to receive again and again and again and again, and you're going to have someone manually review it, then you know that whatever fields that we're going to extract from this are going to be the actual fields that we need to constantly look at when we're doing our extraction. So I had it go in and map out those fields. It gave all the associated fields that we would need to have mapped out and an example of the JSON structure. So I said, hey, for my extraction tool, give me the whole thing and show me the exact JSON structure. And then later, I had it also say, hey, give me all the fields for a spreadsheet, because I wanted to be able to test this on a spreadsheet to see if it actually worked. And so when we get into our information extractor, that's exactly what's going on here. And so there's a few ways that we can deal with information extractors. We can go one for one, and we can create the field, drag it over, and name it whatever we need. Or we can just create the entire JSON structure and how it's supposed to come out. Once this information extractor has done its job, it takes a very complicated document like this and converts it into a very simple spreadsheet like this. And everything gets mapped out automatically and easily for you to be able to run whatever you're doing. So there are a few things you need to pay attention to when you're using this build. One, make sure that you have your loop in place. All your files are stored in here so that you're only running one at a time. You need to make sure that you're feeding in your webhook URL into there. That webhook URL, you should be in an active mode. And finally, whatever document that you're trying to leverage continuously, you need to make sure that you've gone through ChatGPT, uploaded the document, and had it extract all the unique fields and create a JSON output parser for you so that you can upload that in. And now you're off to the races, guys. So if you love this build, guys, and you want access to the template, make sure to click the link below. You'll get access to our free Skool group where we're hosting all of the templates that we're building. Both my business partner and I, every single week, we are putting brand new builds, up to 3 new builds per week that are fully functional, that make sense for the average business owner and what it is that they're trying to accomplish. We have a very active community of over 6,000 engaged individuals, and I think you'll find a lot of value within it. And if you love this video and you want to watch more videos like this, make sure to hit like and subscribe, guys. I know that YouTube is probably recommending another video for you right here, so check it out. And I thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.